Me well? Good morning. This is a new setup, so we're just checking ground that may be there. It's really nice to see everyone. I'm going to just quickly scroll through and see everyone. I was a little ill last week, but it's so good to see everyone here today. And to connect with everyone again, we're going to actually, this week's plan was to speak about different aspects of theta healing, what they are, how we can for those of you that have learned to reconnect to some of those concepts and to it's always good to have a reminder, as they say, of anything that's important. So many things that we know. The problem is never in not knowing what we need to do or what the next step is. The problem often comes in how do we implement it. Okay, I'm going to just make the screen straight actually because my camera is sideways, so I feel really weird looking to the side. All right. Okay. So we always know what to do in life, what we need to be doing, what we should be doing. The problem comes in not remembering it in the correct moment. In that moment where we feel so low, we do not remember. Now, this week we want to discuss different aspects of theta healing, and that was the purpose of starting this group as well. Was daily theta. We've moved a lot beyond that now. We've been covering a lot of concepts now, and we've grown from there. But the premise was to bring to everyone's notice some of the things that are so fabulous about the modality and that can help us with that shift that is there. So for those of you that don't know it, it will be something new to understand, to take home, to see what to do with that information. And for those of you that do as well, I think it's a very timely reminder of certain concepts that might be there. Now, today I had initially planned to share with you guys a very basic concept, and which is the core of theta healing is beliefs. And where do our four levels of beliefs come from, and how we traditionally believe that, oh, okay, of course, whatever my upbringing is, wherever I've come from, whatever my experiences are, that's where my beliefs come from. That's what we know, that's what we subscribe to, that's what we move ahead from. Okay, everything we've done speaks about how, all that we go through in life determines how we what our approach to life is, so to say. But in theta, we say that is only one part, like 25% probably of the equation of where your beliefs come from. So today we're going to discuss about all the different aspects as well and the different levels that our beliefs come from, which is a fundamental of theta, which is where we speak about let's understand beliefs not from one level but from four levels as to where they might be coming and how to resolve them. Today, though, I mean, that was the plan. And then I was coming down in the lift and I realized today is Valentine's Day. So I decided to wish everyone a very, very happy Valentine's Day. And thank you for joining me on this beautiful day. And today, I mean, now there are lots of spin offs. There's Valentine's Day, there's Galentine's Day. But I really feel like let's start the day of Valentine loving ourselves. And which is why today, what I want to speak to each of you about is those four levels of beliefs that are there, but how they actually relate to us loving ourselves. Where we're coming to a blockage, and we know already that anytime that something is not going in life the way we want it to, is probably because we have a level of belief or experience because of which we hold that belief, that we actually give forward that vibration, and that is what we bring into our lives. So loving ourselves is at the core of that. It's World Sound Healing Day also is what I read briefly in the chats that was there. So then I think today is a great day for good vibrations and just shifting things then. Sound healing is also very, very beautiful. I would like to believe that just the vibration of what you all heard in the morning also hopefully contributes to that. Okay. So, okay. Loving ourselves. Where do we come to believing or not believing that? Now, theta healing actually believes at the core of it that there are four levels of beliefs, the four places our belief systems come from. very often we know only one of those levels, which is my current reality, what has happened, what may or may not have happened, the experiences I have been through, and the reason I believe something is the way it is. All right. So now that is the first level of belief that is there, which we also call the core level. Your core level of belief is any beliefs right from the time that you have been in the womb, that you may be carrying right until this moment and this day. Our experiences frame those greatly. Actually, more than our experiences, also, as we've discussed in previous weeks, is how we perceive those experiences. Which is why you could have twins going through the exact same thing, but having very, very different beliefs, perceptions to life, and experiences that they might be inviting and attracting within their lives. So, at a core level, I want each of you to think as well when we're talking about loving ourselves. What have you heard when we speak about loving ourselves? Is it selfish to love yourself? Is it an act of self care to love yourself? Do have you heard the belief that, oh, people that love themselves first are self-centered? What are the beliefs you have grown up listening to, the ones you would remember in your mother tongue more than even just English? Are all the beliefs that form up your core level, those become beliefs that we operate with, that we go about our daily life with, and we seem to give out in terms of frequency to everyone. And then that is how they respond to us, that is how they show their love towards us or not as well. It is selfish, and unless we criticize ourselves, we can't improve ourselves at a core level. Now that is one of the levels that we're aware of. What about the levels that we're unaware of? There are three levels, which means there's 75% of a chance that your belief comes from a space that you are not even aware of in your physical and conscious reality. When it is something we're unaware of, and I am unaware that this is where the change is required within me, we often find it difficult to change because we simply do not know where that comes from or what it is. That brings me to the second layer that is there, the genetic beliefs that we hold. Now, as I've shared with each of you before, all right, just the way we get our hair color, eye color in our genetics, we get diseases genetically so often. A certain lifestyle disease or diabetes runs in my family. And those are all facts we accept very well. You might have a child who suddenly has blue eyes. Okay, and everyone's got brown, dark brown, black eyes in the family, and now you have one child who has gray eyes. The first thing you're going to go and look up your lineage and go like, no, 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 this ancestor of mine 4 generations back did have gray eyes. So, I mean, of course, we tease them so often, going like, oh, no, you're adopted. We don't know. You got just mixed up in the hospital. But we know, and we're so confident that this comes somewhere from our lineage. There's so many things we're confident in. And at that time, we don't rational saying, oh, but my parents don't have gray eyes. Or, these 2 generations skipped this disease. We still go and go like, no, but genetically, we know this is something that runs in our family. This ancestor used to be very, very fair skinned with gray eyes, etc. And that's probably the genetics they've come with. We understand the rationale that not if there are 4 kids, all 4 kids will not come with the same genetics, the same genetic problems, or the same genetic hair and eyes, even though they come off the same set of parents. So it is to the same understanding when we understand where our genetic beliefs come from. We take on a lot of beliefs genetically. We take on a lot of trauma as well genetically. Genetically, things that our ancestors yet had to resolve. And we decide, okay, let me complete this lesson forward. We take on these genetic programmings to resolve, sometimes get entangled in that game itself. But when we understand how strong a genetic lineage is, where it can actually form a physical feature within your body, so goes with genetic beliefs. So, did your ancestors believe it was okay to love themselves? Loving themselves, was that the norm that was there or not? That comes from our genetic beliefs. Now, Theta believes that it's very, very important to resolve those genetic beliefs. That actually causes around simply understanding family patterns, because we look at illnesses and okay, this is something that's running genetically, what can be done to change it? But when we understand family patterns, you might see there are so many gifts that your ancestors might have given you. For instance, we say business runs in this family. They're just going to have that business sense. So often, you might have so many healers already within the family, within the genetic lineage, which you may not be aware of. And then you see that you have this nurturing side, this intuitive side to you. So often, there might be a certain pattern genetically that's going on in relationships as to what the equation of dominance is, or what the equation within communication is in your family. And that is going down genetically. Now, when I understand that genetics does play a big part and is an important aspect, is when I allow myself the chance to resolve that anywhere that it may be blocking me, and to move forward and to actually utilize all of my capacity to take the learnings I am ready for now. All right. Then we come to the other important level, which is that of history level. Past lives is something that every one of us over here actually acknowledges, that yes, we do have past lives, yes, we do have learnings, whether we take those in the name of karma, whether we speak about them in a different light. We do have our past lives, we do have our learnings, and there might be a few patterns that you have unresolved from another life and brought to this life to resolve. So often when you're doing really well in life and you're not understanding your beliefs, everyone in your family's beliefs are aligned to a certain way of operating, whether that be in the field of, whether you can have a lot of money, whether that is about self love, whether that is about being loved in general, and whether you're lovable. And then you do not understand why you have a really tough relationship, which is breaking all those patterns and coming up for you. You don't understand what belief within you might have brought that forward, because everything about you speaks differently. When you speak to people, you can tell about what their value, their ethics, what they truly believe in is. And sometimes you'll see that they invite something really tough, a relationship which is really tough, which is beyond what you see within their family dynamics or what they speak about in terms of their principles. And they wonder why they invited this, what their learning was. And that is the time you'll hear many people say, it's probably karmic. So, karma is, of course, a very, very big topic that is there. But that is where the understanding comes, that history level belief which we speak about. The past lives beliefs that are yet to be resolved also sometimes play up in our lives. All of this understanding is to know that we do have the tools to resolve this at every level. While we simply shift beliefs at another level, at a history level, we always, or a past life level, we always speak about resolving them. Because anything that has come into my life for a learning, I need to understand that learning and resolve it rather than simply replace it, so it doesn't pop up again and I don't start my learning from scratch again. And then we come to the soul level beliefs that are there. The beliefs that we really, really deeply believe, the beliefs that are deeply ingrained within one's system. What are the soul level beliefs that are there that go beyond genetics, beyond history level to something that at a soul level is deeply ingrained and hence manifesting within my life? Now, it is to understand that when we look at doing any of the techniques of theta healing, we look at how do I diagnose at all these four levels and how do I shift at all these four levels. If you remember any of the downloads that we do, we always ask for it to be at all four levels of your beliefs. So it's always given in command that we're shifting something at your core genetic history and soul level. Today, I want each of you to think about loving yourself. In fact, I read a beautiful quote, which was there around New Year's time itself. And it spoke about how every year we resolve to change something within ourselves. And how about this year resolving to simply love ourselves the way we are? So, when it comes to loving ourselves the way we are, doing something special for ourselves, Valentine's, right? I mean, it is a highly popularized, glamorized celebration that is there, that is probably more of the current generations that are there. The Gen X, the Gen Y, the Gen Z, who, goes out, goes about, and wants to celebrate Valentine's. I think the view is also shifting there, where now, other than romantic relationships, people are looking at actually celebrating with their parents, celebrating themselves, celebrating with their girlfriends, just celebrating in any manner possible the festival of love. All right. So now, when we think about loving ourselves and about somebody making us feel special on Valentine's, how about today we do an act where we allow ourselves to have that self love? When you think of doing something special for yourself, whether that is treating yourself to something, whether that is writing yourself a little love letter, whether that is looking at yourself in the mirror and telling yourself that you're beautiful, you look amazing today. Let's see how many of us can take that action forward. And if there is anything that feels like it's a slight hesitation in doing so, in simply being able to do that act of self love for yourself, today and every day, it is something, I mean, you deserve to be loved every single day, not just today, not just on a day that has, come about as a celebration just because. But when you think of loving yourself every single day, if you have to think about doing something special for yourself every day, when we speak about, oh, it's so nice to be complimented, it's so nice when somebody randomly out of the blue tells you, you look so beautiful today. I mean, I know just 2, 3 days back, and I dressed up, and I don't know what it was. I was going somewhere, and my son, I mean, they obviously don't understand. They don't understand. Okay, this is why they're dressing up or what. And he was coming out of the shower, and I was just going to pick up something from the washroom, and he looks me up and down and goes, "Beautiful, pretty," and it brought the biggest smile to my face because it came so purely out of such joy. And when we speak about, oh, it's so nice when somebody gets us a little gift or says you look lovely today. What stops us from being that person that's really nice to ourselves? Is it that we think it's selfish? Is that we think we're vain? Whatever the beliefs are, acknowledging them and choosing to shift them is where all of the shift begins. And understanding that it comes from various levels. Today, we've explained those levels also for you to introspect to a certain aspect. When you're looking at your genetic patterns, do you see that shift? Do you see where the blockage might be? Then there are the tools to change it. But understanding where the problem lies becomes step one. Then empower yourself with the tools to change it. So I'm going to do some quick downloads for love, for self-love, and ask each person today to see if they can exercise that self-love for themselves. I'm going to exercise myself some self-love and not give my throat too much strain today. Just the first day of getting out of bed. So I'm going to quickly do some downloads for everyone. Would you like to know the creator of all that is his definition and perspective of self love, of what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for you to live your daily life loving yourself wholly, completely, beautifully, knowing what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for you to cherish yourself, for you to love yourself, for you to pamper yourself, and for you to know that you are important. To know what it feels like, how to, when to, and that it is safe and possible for you to know that you're very, very loved, and to be a magnet to love, to allow yourself to invite and attract love with its correct discernment in all its form and glory, to be surrounded with the energy of love, and to know what it feels like to be able to shift things for yourself at all four levels of your belief system, to feel extremely loved and cherished every day of your life, to allow yourself this feeling of self love and to allow it to fuel you forward, to know that it is safe and possible for you to express love, knowing and understanding the expression of love as per the creator of all that is from the seventh plane, and knowing that it is safe and possible for you to express love to yourself and to those around you happily, joyously, and without judgment, without fear, that you allow yourself to truly and wholly feel complete self love and feel the love of others around you, to be a magnet to joy, happiness, abundance, and love today and every day. To have these downloads into all four levels of your beliefs in every cell, atom, molecule of your body, every area of your life, for your highest and best, and in your highest and best way. It's just a firm yes to receive the download. So, wishing everyone over here a very, very happy Valentine's Day. Wishing each of you a day that is filled with self love, that is filled with realization, but those realizations to be filled with love as well. To understand that we're all on a journey of learning, and hoping and wishing that each of you perform one act of self love today, whether that's giving yourself a compliment as you look at yourself in the mirror, whether that is writing yourself a little love letter. Trust me, it's a beautiful thing to do. Okay, letting yourself know just how fabulous you are and just how much you appreciate all of everything that you're doing every single day. Whatever that act of self love may be, I look forward to each of you doing that and sharing that with us on the group and making this Valentine's Day truly special. So let's celebrate it together. Let's celebrate it with one another and with ourselves first. All right? Have a beautiful day, you guys. See you tomorrow.